this, I am a full-time employee at Microsoft working in their Windows team as their senior software developer. And this is our first class for the Javascript. So let's get started. So it is saying that you have to create a survey form. Okay. So you know what I am going to understand. Like I'm actually considering you people are pretty new to HTML. So before jumping into this, I will be actually telling you some small overview about various tags, and then you know what I have done for your reference. I have actually created one form and I have pasted it here. So what we will do, we will try to replicate the same with the help of our code, and then I will be showing you how it is actually working out. All right, so let's get started. So HTML. All right, so you know what is the full form of HTML? That is going to be hypertext markup language. So you know why this HTML is actually coming into the picture. So you must have seen various web pages, correct? So like let us take a very simple example which you all must have seen it at least once in your life. So that is your Gmail login page. So how it is actually going to be there? So it is actually like you see one page. In that page, there is one place where you have to enter your email ID, and then you see something like password, and then you have option of login. Like you have other things as well, but these are the basic things which you see on your login page. Of course, we have forget password, create a new Gmail and all. Like all those are also there, but I'm just referring to something. So you know why HTML is actually required. How are you seeing this page? You are seeing this page because this page is actually a web page. We created a web page for you. So you know you have always seen how it is from a user perspective. Now you are going to see everything from a developer perspective. So you will be seeing what and all tags we use so as to beautify our look and feel of a web page, and what and all things we actually do so as to just make it different from being just a boring web page, right? So in this case, what we are going to do, we are going to create a web page, and obviously that one we are going to do with the help of HTML. All right, and like I said, HTML full form I told you, right? What it is? It is hypertext markup language, right? So basically your HTML is some of these two things, correct? So what do we actually refer by the word hypertext? So like you have seen, yeah, when you click here on the login, what is the next page which you see? You see a page where you have all the mails. Here you see some chat option and all, correct? So that is how you actually see your web pages, right? So what this hypertext is going to do? So this hypertext is actually going to link your web pages, correct? So it is going to create link between web pages. All right, and then what is this markup is going to do? So obviously you must have seen sometimes this, like let us say we are talking about Gmail only. So let us say you have seen it in a big letter. Then you will see something in a small letter, enter username. Then you will see in blue letters, like just an example, forget password. Even I do not remember the exact look and feel, but I'm just telling you. Okay. So that is how it is going to be there. So if you will observe, these things are coming nothing from the markup. So what markup is going to do? Markup is going to define how your page is going to be appearing on the web page, and that is what is actually which matters us the most, right? So we can say markup is actually helpful in defining the text document within your web page. What does it mean? Whatever you are page. So what does it mean? It means whatever you are going to see there, you have to write it down somewhere. And where are we going to write it down? We are going to write it down in the form of a text document. And like let us say you are writing down something. this is your HTML code here. Where are you going to write it down? Even if you're using your notepad, that is going to work here. You do not require actually something which is really very like something hi-fi or something. Notepad is the simplest thing. Even when I started writing down my HTML code, I started it from notepad only. So you just create a notepad file, and when you have to save it, you have to save it with your file name, let us say index, and then you put your HTML extension to it. So what this extension is going to do here, it is going to tell that okay, this is a HTML page and it is not a web page, and what it is going to do, so whatever things you are going to define here, it is going to render it on a web page according to that particular, like whatever things you're going to define there. So obviously everything is going to be there for some different reason, like something is going to make your headings look good, something is going to give you a background color or something like that. So all those things, once you're storing your file by the .html extension, it is going to render it like that on your screen. All right. So here what we are going to do, and one more thing, like if you are really interested into knowing about one thing about HTML, so it was actually created in 1991. All right. And who actually created it? It was created by Tim Berners-Lee. All right. Even though it came in 1991, but its stable version was not available back then. When the stable version actually came, it actually came into 1992 and 1999, and that HTML version was actually known as HTML 2.0. So this was the first standard release, or you can say first standard version. So before that also it was there, but that was not so stable. The stable version which actually came into the world, that was 2.0. And now I will be telling you some of the things, like I told you that okay, you can take your like notepad, and then you can just write down whatever things you want to see on your web page, but I didn't tell you how you can create it. So now I will be moving into that part. So what and all things you will have to do, you have to remember one thing here when we are talking about HTML, a word tag. So what this tag is going to do, so whatever things you want to have on your screen, you have to just put it in one tag, and those tags are actually going to be responsible in order to give you that specific look and feel. All right. And some of the tags are going to be having opening and closing tags. So what do I mean by opening and closing? So like let us say I want to do something. Here is your some tag name. I'm just writing it down by tag. This is how you are going to write within these conical brackets. And since here you just have conical brackets, so this one we refer as opening tag. And if you have to tell some closing tag, what you will do? This one, a backslash, and then you write your tag. So this is going to be a closing tag. So that is how you're going to define your tags on your web page. All right. Now, whenever we have to write down our HTML page, what is the first tag which we write down there? That is going to be doc type. So what is your doc type is going to do? I'll be writing it down here. So this is going to be your first tag. Okay. And this one is going to actually tell that what is the type of the document which you are going to use. So it is actually going to tell the document type, and it is going to tell that browser that okay, I am a HTML page and you have to just render me correctly. Okay, so that is what the basically the use of this tag. Okay, so you can say this is going to be the first tag in HTML document. All right. And what this one is going to do, like I'm saying, if you are going to store your file by .html extension, so this tag is actually going to have that information within it. And when we are going to run our file on the web page, it is actually going to tell this extension. With the help of this extension only, it is going to tell the type of the document to the browser. Okay. So this one is actually going to, I'll say, this one is going to represent the document type and It helps browser to display web pages correctly. Alright, so that is how you have to start your document. Alright, and this one is not case sensitive. You can just write it down however you want to do. And how we actually write it down, as I said, we have various closing and opening tags. But just for this doc type, how you just have to do, within these conical brackets, first of all, you have to put this symbol and then you write your doc type and then just close it. So you do not have to do anything, like you do not have to pass any information or anything. This tag itself is going to do all the work for you. All right. And if you have to declare it in the HTML5, how you will be doing, and what is HTML5? So like we discussed about HTML2. So earlier we had different HTML versions. So if we'll talk about HTML5, so how you are going to represent this tag there, it is going to be like this. Just doc type and then you write HTML. So with the help of this, it is going to pass this information to the browser that I am a HTML page. Alright, and then browser is actually going to do rest of the work. After this, what is the next tag which is going to come? So first tag is going to be the doc type and another tag is going to be the HTML tag. Like I said, we are going to have opening and closing tags. So for this HTML, this is the starting tag. And then for this one, we have our corresponding closing tag, not the factorial symbol, this one. So whatever you want to write down in your HTML page, that should be enclosed between this. Once you are going to end your HTML, the browser is going to understand that the HTML document ended here. After that, whatever is there, that is not going to be the part of HTML. Correct? So that is how you have to define it. Now, like if we'll just talk about the human body, what is the first thing which you see on your body? First part is going to be head, then you have your body, and the bottom part is going to be your foot, right? So here also we have divided our web page in the same form. And you know, if you have actually seen your web page, how it is going to be there. So like let us say this is your web page. So here you are going to see some website name or something like, okay, I'm just writing email or anything. And then you see some help here or some things, right? Then you see something here. Sometimes they just write copyright 2005 or something like random thing, right? Or some help, contact us, something. So this part is actually your header. This part is your footer. This particular part comes as body. Correct? So that is how you have to segregate your entire web page. Alright, now in this particular case, what is the thing which you will have to understand? Head is different, header is different. Header is going to have the information, like header is actually going to have some handy links, like you usually put some home button on the top, right? So these are the things which has to be there in the header. But the head, what the head is going to do, that is going to have a container for the metadata. What is the metadata? That is nothing but data about data. I'll write it down. So now we have our head tag. So what this tag is actually going to do, this is nothing but container for metadata. And this one is going to have information of data about data. Alright. So when you are going to have such, like if you have to define some container for your metadata, that's when you are going to do within your head tag and where the placement of this tag is going to be there. So first of all, your HTML tag is going to come, then your head, then your body, and then you are going to close your HTML. That is how it is going to be there. Like this is going to be the hierarchy for the same. And what is actually the meaning of metadata? That is data about data. So you know, when we are talking about the HTML web page. So metadata is the data about HTML web page, and metadata is never displayed on the screen. This is just for the information purpose. All right. So we can say metadata is data about HTML document. All right, and it is not going to be displayed on the screen. And what and all it is going to have, so we are going to include a lot of things like scripts and all. So that one you can include in the form of head. All right, then the next thing which comes, that is title. So here we spoke about all these things, but after, like, here head is starting, here head is ending. In between that, what do we have? We have something like title. So what is title? You have always seen a web page, right? And on the top you have seen some information. That is nothing but the title. So that one we can define with the help of title tag. Okay. Again, this title tag is going to have the ending and the closing tags, and this one is actually the text only. You cannot you can actually just be putting the text which you can see on the top of your web page, and it is actually required in the web page. So you must have seen, sometimes you just see, okay, just by looking at the tabs you can figure out which tab is going to have what web page, right? And how you can actually figure it out with the help of the title which you are going to provide. And whenever you have to provide a title, you should always be considering that you are providing a meaningful title. You should not be just providing anything. So it should be actually a descriptive, like you should actually go for longer descriptive titles. And why we are referring that, so that, like I'm saying, if you have bunch of tabs with you, just by looking at the title you should be knowing that, okay, this one is going to have this particular information, and let's go and check it out. All right, now moving ahead. Before moving ahead, what I will do, I will be just quickly showing you the header part, how it actually works. And for writing down the HTML part, what I'm going to use, I'm going to use Visual Studio Code. You can use any other platform if you want, but this is something which I will be using. So let me create something like index.html here. Now in this one, what I will be doing, I will be, first of all, like I said, what and all we have to include, doc type HTML. Correct? After this, what we will be including, I told you it should actually start from the HTML. Whatever things you want to write down, it should be enclosed between HTML tags. After that, we are going to mention head. Head is going to have the metadata. Correct? Inside head, you have to mention your title. So let us say I am referring, since we are creating a survey form. Correct? So let me create the title as survey, because later on we are going to use this information only there. So then we have survey form, correct? And then I'll have some body. For now, I'm not going to provide anything here. Once we discuss about all these things, it's better if I introduce all these terms there, then only, right? Then in the Visual Studio Code, you have option of open with live server. So what is going to happen with the live server, whatever changes we are going to make here, those ones you can directly see there. All right. So for now, since we have nothing else mentioned, so you can see here that survey form is coming. Remaining everything is blank. If you want to see how that is going to, live server is going to work out, I am just putting two exclamation signs here. I'm not doing anything else. Let me save it here. The moment you are saving, you can see it is reflecting here. So all you have to do is write down something here, save it. It is going to get updated there. Let me put a space here, and now you can, sorry, then you save it, and the moment you are going to open it, you can see it was actually in the refreshing phase, because it was refreshing the content, and after that it has shown the updated information here. Correct? So that is how the title is going to work. Now let's move back and let's talk about the another tags, that is body. So like the human body, even the HTML body is going to work in the same way. So majority of the things are going to come here. And what this one is going to do, so this one is going to define document body. Okay. And in this case, what you will have to do, so whatever is going to be the visible part of the HTML document means whatever you are going to see. If you can see right now, everything is blank. That is because whatever you are going to see there, that is going to get come inside body. And for now, we have not created the body here. And but in all things it can actually include, so it is going to contain all content of HTML page, and it is going to have information like paragraphs, images, hyperlinks, etc. But in all these things are there, that one we are going to discuss as we are proceeding ahead. But for now, you should actually have the idea that this is how it has to be there. All right. Now the next thing which we are going to consider here, that is going to be the HTML heading. All right. So what is the heading? Like the English heading, but it is going to be there something which is just actually taking your all your attention. That is something which we put in heading, right? And you have observed, even like let us consider a newspaper. Headlines are never something like which is be just small and unnoticeable. That is always written in enough way that you can they can actually get your attention, right? So here also HTML heading is something which you are going to provide for an HTML web page, and it is actually going to be there for the various heading levels. All right, and how you are going to define it? You are going to define it like H1, and then you are going to write your text, and then you have to close it. So whatever text is going to be included between this, that is going to have all the styles of H1. All right. Now, what is H1? In the HTML heading, we are having various headings, and that is going to be ranging from H1 to H6. That is how we have various headings. Now, in this range, H1 is going to be the biggest heading. All right. And this is something which we can say that this is the most important heading. Like I was referring the newspaper. So there you must have seen whatever the most important headline is there. That one is always there in the pop top biggest fonts, right? So that is how even this one is going to work. Whereas if we'll talk about H6, what it is going to be there, this is the smallest heading. And obviously smallest headings are something which you just put, but you do not want to actually grab somebody's attention, but at the same time you really want to make it distinguishable. All right, so this is the smallest heading. And this one is going to be least important heading. All right, so that is how it is going to be there. Now let's move there, and I will be showing you some different types of headings. Okay, so let me just, like I said, it is going to range from H1. So the moment I put H1 here, you can see all the numbers up to H6. So inside this, I'm just going to put heading. And the reason why I use this Visual Studio Code, you have observed, like if you will write down on notepad, it is going to be a plain text. But here, if you have observed, I'm getting lots of suggestions. The moment I'm closing one tag, it is automatically inserting its ending tag. So you know why we prefer such types of editors in order to create any HTML web page and all. That is because these ones are actually going to make our work extremely simpler. Okay. So now what I will do, I'm just going to update the values here. So heading 1, heading 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to insert one more. And here if you how you can actually observe how it is updating, for that one I'm updating the value here. So if I I will save here, you can come and you can see how the different headings are actually getting displayed on the screen. Correct? So that is how it is going to work. And one more thing which we can do, I can actually open these two things parallelly so that I'll not have to update it and show you to you how it is working out. All right, because these ones are actually only for the display purpose, and all the things which we are going to do, that when we are writing here in the scribble. All right. So now like if you have seen, we are not setting any size or anything here. Correct? So from where it is actually picking. So these headings, like every HTML heading, has a default size. So we are not going to set it out, means we are not setting it out here. But if you want, you can, like if you actually require, there are ways of updating its headings, styles or something as well. How we can do it, I will be showing it to you now. So like, let's just move here. So for the HTML, like for the heading 1, if you really want to add some different style to it, so what you can do, you can just add style, and here what you want to do, let us say for the font size, whatever size you are having here, that one you want to update it. Let us say I am providing some 60x. So what this is going to do, this one is going to provide it a size of 60 pixels. So the moment I saved it here, you can see how it has popped off, how it has increased its size. So everything is going to have its own font style and everything, but if you want, you can change it. So with the help of this, I change the size, and if you will see, we have other things as well available here. So that is font family. So here let us say I am providing Times New Roman. The moment I'm going to save it, you can see it is updating. Or what I can do, probably I'll be providing it some different font which you can see. So now you can see how this has actually changed it considerably. Correct? So that is how you can define your HTML headings. Now what is the next thing which we will have to cover here? That is paragraphs. And why I'm actually covering all those points, if you will come to your slide, you can see they are actually saying you use the basic tags like HTML form, table, and all. So before jumping here, let's just discuss all these things one after the another, and then it will be easier for us. Like it is not going to consume a lot of our time when we are going to work on the form part. Okay. So now what is the next thing which we will have to do? Next is our paragraph tag. So what paragraph means? Like the English one. If you want to write down a lot of text, not just one liner, but a lot of text, you can just write it down in the paragraph. And how you can do? By using p tags. So whatever is going to be there between this, everything is going to get displayed as a paragraph. And one more thing, you never have to skip any of the tags. So you know what it is actually saying. Let us say you are skipping one of the tags. I'll be giving you an example. Like first of all, okay, so first of all, I will be showing you some paragraph in middle of this. Okay, so let us say for this paragraph, I'm writing down something like this is a demo paragraph. Okay, so this is how I am doing. The moment I saved it, you can see it is getting displayed there. And the reason I put it inside this, that is how it is coming. And I was saying you should never be missing the closing tag. So here if you are going to remove the closing tag, and then if you will see, you can see everything is coming in the heading 5 level. Do we really want all those settings here? No. So always make a habit of, when you are starting it, you should always be knowing that now it's the time we have to close the corresponding tags. And here, like when we talk about the HTML, your tags are not case sensitive. What does it mean? Even if you're going to put the same tag with the different caps, like let us say in the body, if you are going to put body as capital B, then small ODY, or entire thing in the capital letters, then also it is going to work in the same way how the basic one is going to do. But like if I have to write down anything, I usually prefer everything in the smaller case. That is my preference, up to you how you really want to put it there. Okay. And some of the things are actually going to be something like, if you are writing something, if you want to have a page break or something, in such a case, what you can use a BR tag. BR is nothing for break. So if you want to break your text or break whatever is there, and you want to put your focus in the next line, what you can do, you can use your break tag. And how you can use, this is how. So if you, in this case, if you will observe, we are not writing it like this. And why? That is because if something is written, after that we want a break. So we really do not want to enclose something within these two texts. And such a tag we refer as empty tag. Why it is empty tag? Because these ones are called as full tags, because we are putting some content there, and those ones we are actually modifying by these tags. But this one is just going to break the line and put the focus in the next line. So in such a case, this break tag is not going to make a, like, this one is not going to be a full tag, and this one we call as empty tag. Okay. Now I will be showing you how this one is going to work. So let's come here. Let us say here we were writing it, right. After this, I just want to put it into next statement. If I'm saving it, if you will observe, nothing actually helped, right? So if you really want to break it into different line, what do you have to do? Use a break tag. And the moment you are doing save, you can see the focus is actually coming into the new line. So that is how it is going to be there. Now we'll be talking about some of the styling tags. So what and all are those? So you have seen sometimes we write it into some italics, or we write something into bold, or we write something into underline. So all these are actually going to come in the styling tags. Okay. And how it is going to work? Let's come here. Here only I'll be directly showing you some example. So let us say I want to write down something like, these tags you can put it anywhere. Okay. So let us say I'm writing down a paragraph, and here I'm saying this is a paragraph. If you will save, you can see after heading 6 it has printed a paragraph. Now I want to write down something like, this is bold text. Now if you will see, 1 second. I do not know if you can actually see it. 1 second. For this page, I will do word wrap. Okay, so we are actually having two bolds. Now you can see this has actually just use B. But with bold it is not working. Yeah, now you can see it is actually becoming bold here. Right? If you want to make it italics, what you can do, so you can write down, this is, just put it into I tag. Okay. So now you can see this is italics. So now you can see this one has actually changed its style. And if you want to write down something in the underline, what you can do, this text is, put it into U tag. So you can see this text is underlined. So this is how you can see how these styles are actually getting applied there. All right. Sometimes, like also, you have seen your entire
सेकंड
page
काय
is
आहे आपण
divided into various divisions. So, if you
सेकंड
really
काय आहे
want to
आपण
divide your entire thing into
छेदी
different
के पर में
divisions or different sections, what you can do, you
मारेगा
can
खुदा
use
खुदा
your div tag. And these tags we are going to use when we are going to create the final web page.
हाँ
Okay. So, what this div is going to do, this one is going to divide your page into subparts. This provides sections. And why do we require this? If like you must have seen your notebook and all, and you usually divide it into various parts. Like sometimes you just buy one notebook and you divide it into five parts, and you actually work on five subjects with the help of that. Similarly, here also you have a one web page. In one web page, if you really want to do more than one thing, so how you can
हाँ
achieve it? Just by the help of div tab, you can actually perform all the operations.
का चीज
Now, the next tag which we are going to discuss here is table
वुड
tab. So,
वुड
what is
स्पेलिंग
a
में ज्यादा
table
बड़ा
tab?
है
So, like how we display a table. So, let us say I want to display something like this. So, here I am writing roll number, then I am writing name,
निर्भर भी वाला जोगाड़ लगा
and then I'm
नीरू
writing phone number. So, this is how I
हाँ
want to have a
अक्टूबर
table.
लगता है
So, what I can do,
फोटो में मांगेगा और एनसीबी
I
खत्म
can
हो
just,
जाएगा
like, if you have observed what actually happened, this is how we see our table, right? And in this, we'll have various information available. If you want to replicate something like this, how you will be doing, you can do it with the help of table tag. In this, we are having various tags available with us. So, you know what and all tags are going to be there. So, one is going to be TR. What does this TR means? That is nothing but table row. So, if you have to define some content of a row, some content in a row of a table, you can define it with the help of TR. Inside this, we have TD. So, what does TD is actually going to do? Inside that table row, if you really want to provide that table, like let us say after coming here, if you want to provide some content here, so how you will be doing? Firstly, you are going to have your table tag, then you come to TR, and then you come to TD, and let us say I am writing A, and then I'm closing this TD. So this A is actually going to come on the first cell. So this is actually going to come to the table cell. That is how this one is going to work. And then we are going to have something like th. So what is this th is going to do? This is nothing but table heading. So here, if you have seen, these three things are doing nothing but providing heading to the table. So all this work we can achieve with the help of th tag. So this one is going to provide heading, or you can say header. Okay, so this one is going to define table header, like roll number and all, which we have just discussed. All right. Sometimes you have seen that, okay, if this is the table, let us say I want to say this is student data. So how you can provide such an information? So if you want to provide such an information for your table, what you can do, you can use caption. So what caption is actually going to do? This one is going to provide a name to your table. All right. Now, before actually discussing the rest of the things, what I will do, I'll actually take you through one table so that you can actually relate instead of just like listening and all. Okay. So let us say I want to create a table. I told you it is going to be there like this table. Then I want to provide some name to it. So that one I'm going to put into caption. So let us say I'm giving student data. After providing that, what you will have to provide, you want to provide something like table heading. In the table header, what you are going to provide, I'm actually replicating the one which we have discussed. So in this student data, what we had in our table header, that was roll number, then name, and then your phone number. Okay. So here if we are going to come, I told you inside table header we are going to have TD, right? So that table header is going to have some content here. So that one I'm going to pass as roll number. Now let's save. So you can see it is coming here like this. Correct? Now inside this, I want to provide another thing that was name. Now if you will save, you can see second thing is also coming. Now the third one, if I want to put, let us say phone number. So you can see third field is also coming. But if you will observe, this one is not putting any border here. So if you want to put some border, from here you can just provide some value to it. So by providing value 1, you can see now it is having some border here. Correct? So that is how it is going to work. Now what I want to do to this table header, what I really want to do, and you know one thing, like what we will do, we'll take table row. Inside that table row we will be making table header. So that is going to make it bold. Right now you can see it is not coming bold, right? So here I'm going to provide name and then phone number. If I will save, now you can see it is coming bold. So that if you are going to write it like this is actually going to be the correct hierarchy, because what it is doing in this table row, it is adding headers. Earlier what we were doing, we were just taking one header and then we were adding cells to it, so it was not displaying it correctly. So the reason why actually I have showed you in both of the ways, so that even you should be knowing the difference of adding the tags and in which order. Okay, after this what I want to do, I just want to seed some values to it. So let us say I'm taking one table row. Inside this I'm providing, okay, roll number 1. After providing roll number 1, I just want to provide a student 1. Okay, and then I want to provide some contact number. Okay, so let us say some 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So something like this I have done. So the moment I saved it, you can see it is coming like this. If I want to add more rows, what I can do, for now I'm just copy pasting. So here I can put this, and so as to make it distinguishable, I'm making it like this. If I will save, you can see even the second value is going to come. So with the help of this, you can actually create a table. Alright, so I hope this one is going to be clear to you. Now what is the another tag which they mentioned here? It was like you need to know about forms as well. So let's come back there. So if you want to create a form, what is going to happen and what is a form? So like I said, let us say we have something like this, and here you are having some fields, and after all those fields